Compared to his friends, Lev was still asleep at 8 a.m. He tried to wake up but every time, he ended falling asleep again. He felt so weak and tired like all his energy was drained. He was way too exhausted to even get up and take some medicine. And of course, no one was home to take care of him. His sister, Elisa, wanted to stay with him in case things turned badly but Lev reassured her and forced her to go to school. It was a big lie of course because Lev felt like dying. But except for being really sick and having no one to take care of him, he had another big problem. He completely forgot about his boyfriend. And when his phone buzzed, signaling he had new messages, he heard absolutely nothing. Lev and Yaku's conversation. Where are you? It's almost time for morning practice. Delivered, 5:55 a.m. Lev, answer my texts. Delivered, 6 a.m. ISTG, you're gonna work 3 times harder if you don't respond. Delivered, 6:04. Lev, what's up? You usually respond right away. Delivered, 6:07 a.m. Are you still sleeping? I'm gonna kill you, face with rolling eyes. Delivered, 6:08 a.m. I'm coming to your house. Delivered, 6:20 a.m. Back to IRL. After waiting for almost 30 minutes, Yaku decided to simply go to his house. To be honest, he was kinda worried. Lev was absolutely not the type to ignore his texts. Maybe he was just asleep but he preferred to make sure he was okay. When the redhead finally got to his boyfriend's house, he knocked at the door but got no answer. That's strange. Is he here? He tried again a few times but, getting no response, he abandoned. I'm sorry for the intrusion, Mr. and Mrs. Heiba. Yaku then grabbed his keys, which were in his pocket, and opened the door. A long time ago, Lev gave him a spare key just in case. He hated using it and break into his boyfriend's house but this time, he had no other choices. He checked every room on the first floor but there was no one. He frowned. Lev. He got upstairs and immediately went to his lover's bedroom. But when he entered, he was only welcomed by Lev rolled up in his blanket and visibly sleeping. Are you kidding me? You really want to die, don't you? But when he went closer, ready to beat the Russian's ass, he noticed something. Since when Lev's was this red? And why did he look like he had difficulties breathing? He sat down on the bed. Wake up. He placed his left hand softly on his cheek. However, something bothered him. His temperature. You're burning. He started shaking him gently, trying to wake him up. Yaku was so worried. It was the first time he saw his boyfriend that sick. Why no one was here to take care of him? Lev, wake up. The Russian then started to blink his eyes. After getting used to the bright light, he looked down at the older with a sleepy face. Yaku. He tried to get up but the older prevented him to. Why is no one here to take care of you? I'm fine, I didn't want them to worry. You're fine. If you weren't sick I would have kicked your ass. Lev laughed a bit but ended coughing. See, you're not fine. Just wait here, I will go get some medicine, okay? Don't dare to get up. He nodded, and Yaku left the bedroom. When he came back, with a glass of water and medication with him, he sat back down on the bed and helped Lev taking the medications. I will make some soup. Just rest for now, okay? What about school? Don't worry and sleep. Thank you, Yaku-san. No need to thank me, that's normal. It has been 30 minutes since Yaku left the other's room and Lev couldn't sleep. He felt extremely tired but knowing his boyfriend was him prevent him to sleep. After some consideration, he finally decided to join Yaku in the kitchen. He knew it wasn't a good idea but he couldn't stop himself. He went downstairs, go back wrapped to in your his bed, blanket, you and got be closer here. to his boyfriend who was no currently buts. cooking. No, I want to stay here. You can't, baby. I can't take care of you and cook at the same time, please. I won't bother you, I promise. Yaku sighed. If you're cold or feel bad, go back to your room, okay? The younger smiled in victory. I promise. Lev sat on one of his chairs, his head resting in his arms. From here, he had a perfect view. He could observe his partner cooking and he would have sworn that it was the most stunning thing he had ever seen in his life. He felt extremely lucky to have Yaku in his life. Even though he acted roughly sometimes, Lev knew he cared for him a lot. He took care of him when he was sick or blessed and he always made sure he was okay. He often wished he gave him as much love as Yaku did. As time passed, Lev's eyes started getting heavy. He tried to stay awake. He did not want to fall asleep here but he didn't want to go back to his room either. However, after a long fight, he fell asleep. When Yaku turned to check on his lover, he only saw the boy peacefully sleeping. He smiled, surprisingly not angry, and got closer to him. He replaced his hair and kissed gently his forehead. I love you. It was currently 6 a.m. and Akashi already regretted doing this prank. Missing practice once didn't bother him if he goes to school at 8 a.m., but the problem was Bakudo. He had no idea of how he could react. What if he turned into his emo mod? He sighed, turning around in his bed once again. He hadn't received any text from Bakudo today. Maybe he was just thinking a bit too much, and his boyfriend was doing great, but he couldn't stop worrying. Eventually, his phone finally rang, indicating that he had a new message. When he saw that the message was from Konoha and not his lover, he frowned. Hey Akashi, where are you? I'm sorry if I bother you, but Bakudo is a complete mess. He's worried about you. What? Why? Because you didn't come today without warning him. And he doesn't want anyone other than you to toss to him. I'm coming. Why didn't you come before? Long story. Keiji rushed toward his closet after turning off his phone. He got dressed up quickly, and as soon as he finished preparing, he left his house. After 10 minutes, he entered the gymnasium. Konoha came in his direction. Where is he? His teammate pointed to the corner of the room. He's here since we started practicing. Akashi thanked Konoha before getting closer to his boyfriend and stood right beside him. Bakudo-san. The older turned in the direction of the familiar voice. When he saw his boyfriend, he immediately put his arms around him and hugged him tightly. Akashi. Bakudo, you're suffocating me. Oh, sorry. He quickly got back and looked at the black-haired boy with sad eyes. I missed you. Where were you? Are you okay? Are you sick? Are you hurt? I'm okay, honey, don't worry. But why didn't you come? We were supposed to work on our new attack today. I'm sorry. You should have just asked someone other than me to toss to you. No, you're the only one who can toss to me. I'm not. What are you gonna do next year? I won't be here. No matter what it was about, Akashi couldn't stop worrying about everything. And Bokudo's graduation was not an exception. He knew the older was an 18 years old grown man who could be responsible, but sometimes when he sees him, he couldn't stop wondering if it will be okay. Besides, they won't be able to see each other as often as before. This was only another source of stress for him. Don't say that. Let's go. Let's play together. Akashi didn't even have the time to respond that Bakudo dragged him towards the others. I need to change before wait. It was now lunch's break. The couple were heading to their usual spot, under one of the tree in the schoolyard. Their friends sometimes came with them, but this time, they were all alone. They sat down against the tree and Bakudo looked at his lover. What's going on? Since the practice this morning, Akashi was overthought once again. He always did, but in front of Bakudo, he always tried to hide it. Yet, this time it looked like he failed. Nothing. Why? No. You know you can tell me everything, right? His words made his heart fluttered. I know, Bakudo-san. Are you scared because I graduate soon? Touché. Akashi kept silent. I knew it. Akashi, don't worry. I'm going to be okay, and you too. Trust me. Bakudo thought for a long time, too. He even hesitated to fail his exams on purpose. But he knew his boyfriend would be angrier than anything. After a moment, he just decided to stop overthinking. He believed in their relationship more than anything, he had nothing to be worried about. How do you know? I love you. And you love me. How things could end wrong. The younger smiled and looked at his boyfriend. All of their friends knew their relation was the healthiest. They both loved each other very deeply and always made sure to show it. They always got each other back, and it wasn't because Bakudo will graduate soon that this will ever change. You're right. Yes. Now stop worrying, everything's okay. I promise. Akashi stared at Bokudo's eyes for a moment but then started kissing him softly. The younger was sure clingy, but the older was usually the one who started physical touch. Therefore, the taller was a bit surprised when his boyfriend kissed him. Nevertheless, he kissed him back. After breaking the kiss, he continued staring into his eyes. You're beautiful. Tendo didn't really expect anything from this prank. He kinda could predict Ushi's reaction. Still, the curiosity ate him alive. What if he reacted differently than how he predicted? That's why, at 7:50 a.m., he was still at home. He hadn't received any message yet, but it didn't surprise him. The taller was probably practicing with the others. I didn't bother him at all, on the contrary, he wished his lover wasn't waiting for him. But not even 5 minutes later, his phone rang. The practice was over. Seeing the name of his partner on his screen, he accepted the call without any hesitation. Hello. Hi Tendo. Are you okay? Why didn't you come today? Are you sick? If so, I will go buy medicine before coming to your house. Or you just didn't wake up. Do you sleep well? I know it's easier for you to sleep when I'm next to you. Should I stay at your house more often? I'm not sure if my mom will agree, though. Wakatoshi. Yes. I'm fine, don't worry. This was just a stupid prank. Oh, who started it? Oikawa, I'm sorry. It's okay. Are you still going to class? Haha. You shouldn't skip class, you know. Yes. I will just go tomorrow. Go, or you'll be late. Okay. Text me if you need anything. Yes. See you later, miracle boy. See you, love. He sighed and got up. He had all the day for himself. And of course, the first idea that crossed his mind was trying a new strange recipe he found. He ran into his kitchen, not knowing that he will stay there for hours. When the red-haired boy finally left his kitchen, it was already 3 p.m. He didn't even realize the time. At least, his new recipe was successful. He decided to go out for a walk. He didn't like staying all day in his house, so he dressed up and left. He walked for a pretty long time and even went to buy some stuff at the supermarket. Nothing unusual, but it wasn't boring either. Plus, the weather was perfect. Summer was over, but the days were still long and it was not hot, nor cold. When he went back home, he was welcomed by a big figure sitting on the stairs in front of his door. The older immediately recognized the person. Ushi. The younger looked up to his boyfriend as Tendo ran toward him. What are you doing here? Have you been waiting a long time? Hello, Tendo. I thought I could visit you. Some of your classmates also gave me homework you need to do. I've been waiting for only 30 minutes, don't worry. You should have texted me. It's fine. Come in. They afterward entered the house and Tendo invited his boyfriend to sit on the couch before disappearing in the kitchen. Where are you? You will see, just wait for a second. When the older came back, he had a big plate with many cupcakes in his hands. It was the strange recipe he cooked earlier. He was happy that Ushijima could try it. Ta damn, I made cupcakes. He put the cupcakes on the table and sat next to him. Try it, they're actually very good. Okay. The taller took one of them and tried it. When Tendo saw the surprised look on his boyfriend's face, he smiled. It's good, right? Yes. Your cooking skills are incredible. Stop, Ushi, you're making me blush. Ushijima smiled too. Do you want to watch something while eating? My parents will come back home soon though. That's fine. I said to my mom that we'll come home late. What do you want to watch? The Guardian of the Galaxy. It's been a while since I last saw this film. Let's go for the Guardian of the Galaxy then. Tendo turned on the TV and played the film. He was about to sit more comfortably, but before he could, Ushijima called him. Tendo. What? He turned in his direction only to see him with open arms. He chuckled and ran into his arms. Better. I agree. Wakatoshi placed his arms around his boyfriend carefully, hugging him as Tendo laid on his chest. The younger kissed his head one more time before concentrating on the film. Wakatoshi tilde. I love you. Can you stay the night? Yes, of course. I love you too, sweetie. Oikawa loved bothering his boyfriend. Nothing mean, of course, he would never harm his boyfriend. So when Lev proposed this prank, he immediately accepted. Yet, to be honest, he regretted it a little. He hated missing practice. He always wanted to train for hours. Laying in his bed made him even more guilty. He was going to get up and do something, no matter what it was, but a familiar sound stopped him. He grabbed his phone and saw a message from Iwaizumi. Hey Oikawa, where are you? Home. What do you mean home? Since when you miss practice? Since now. Okay. Are you okay? Yes. Why wouldn't I be? Face with rolling eyes. Face with rolling eyes. Just go practice. You too. No. Yes. No. Yes. No. Okay. Don't complain after I won't. Unamused. Yeah, sure. See you then. Wait. What? Where are you going? Practicing. You're the one who said I should go. But it was a joke. Stay. I'm bored. Not my problem, baby. You should have came. Kiss kiss less than 3. Wait. Iwa. Scene. 6:15 a.m. Iwa-chan sad face. Scene. 6:15 a.m. Traitor face with rolling eyes. Scene. 6:16 a.m. Back to IRL. Oikawa was bored all day long. And as the drama queen he was, he didn't stop complaining. I'm bored. Mean Iwa-chan. What do I do now? But there was no one to entertain him. His classmates and teammates were at school and he was too embarrassed to text Shuga, Akashi, or Atsumu. He wished his boyfriend would text him or call him after school, but nothing. He had nothing to do. His parents were out for their wedding anniversary, so he was all alone. He didn't even eat, he was too lazy to cook. After a long time, around 7 p.m., he got up from his couch, determined. I can't stay here all day. It's a shame. He got dressed up, not caring about the time, and left his house. Thankfully it wasn't cold and the sun was still up. His feet took him to the gymnasium by themselves. He missed playing volleyball so badly, even if hadn't been a day since he last played. But to enter, he had to beg the high school staff for what felt like hours. Finally, he accepted. Because Oikawa was too annoying, certainly, but at least, he could practice. He was alone, but it wasn't a problem. The problem was that he was kinda tired. He didn't eat since the morning, he knew it was bad but he didn't stop. He threw the ball once again, breathing heavily and all sweaty when the door suddenly opened. Oikawa thought it was the old man he fought with an hour ago to stay in the gymnasium. But it was in reality his boyfriend. I knew it. Iwa. What are you doing here, you crazy? Iwaizumi came closer to the taller. It's almost 9 p.m. Why are you here? I'm fine, Iwa-chan, I was just bored. When was the last time you ate? This morning. How do you know? I know you, Oikawa Toru. Oh god, what would you do without me? Calm down. There's nothing to be worried about. I'm fine. Stop saying bullshit. You don't even realize how much you overwork yourself. I said I was just bored. You can't stop playing for even a day. Oikawa kept silent, realizing how much the shorter was right. He just couldn't stop, he was like that. Come. He grabbed his arm and forced him to sit on the bench. He went to get his water bottle and gave it to Oikawa before sitting next to him. The next time you practice like that, call me. Why? So I can take care of you, dumbass. Oikawa smiled, hugging his boyfriend's arm. Sorry, I made you worry. That's fine. Just don't do it again. Oikawa quickly kissed his lover's lips and put his head on his shoulder. I think you're enjoying this a bit too much. I'm mad, you know. No, you're not. How do you know? I know you, too. Seriously, Oikawa. You're overworking. Take care of yourself. It's okay if you fail. Oikawa laughed. I know. Stop being dramatic. But in reality, his words meant everything to him. He hugged him tightly. Want to stay the night at mine? Tomorrow is Saturday and my parents aren't home. Films and cuddles. I don't know. Come on. I will be the big spoon. Okay. Oikawa got up. Yay. Hurry. I'm hungry. How have you so much energy left? I don't know. Let's go to your house before. I want your oversized black hoodie. Thief. Of course. Just as Shuga was still peacefully sleeping at 7 a.m. But compared to him, he was not sick. Just lazy. He felt absolutely not guilty to stay home all day and miss practice. On the contrary, he felt extremely happy. He loved his teammates and enjoyed being with them, but sometimes, he was just tired to hear them yelling at 6 a.m. This time, he was going to enjoy his night as much as he could. But the thing he forgot was his boyfriend. And he didn't realize how much he made him worry by not answer any of his texts. Shuga and Daichi's conversation. Sugar. Are you late? Delivered, 6:08 a.m. I guess you're not going to come. Text me as soon as you see my texts, I'm worried. Delivered, 6:29 a.m. Why didn't you come to class? Delivered 9:55 a.m. Answer my texts. Delivered 11 a.m. I'm worried. Delivered, 11:04 a.m. Back to IRL. Finally, not long after Daichi's last message, Shuga woke up. He was himself surprised by how much he had slept. Waking up at 4:30 a.m. every morning was more exhausting than he thought. When he saw his boyfriend's text, he started feeling a bit guilty. He completely forgot. Still, he didn't respond and got up. He dressed up and prepared his stuff. He decided to go back to school after the lunch break. He waited a bit, but when it was time, he left his house. When he arrived at his destination, he crossed paths with Tanaka and Nishinoya. Shuga-san. Oh, Tanaka and Nishinoya, hello. Where have you been? Daichi was worried. Yes, he was so worried. Nishinoya looked at Tanaka, laughing hysterically. Did you see his face when he was on his phone? Yes, I saw him. It's the funniest thing I ever saw. Ryu started laughing too while Shuga smiled. Do you know where he is? In your class, probably waiting for you. Okay, thank you. No problem. Shuga then ran into his classroom. Was he waiting for him the whole morning? He was capable of it, though. When he finally entered the class, he only saw his boyfriend laughing with a girl. Daichi was actually very friendly and had many friends, boy, girl, or non-binary. But seeing him laugh with this girl still made him feel jealous. Surprisingly, Shuga was the most jealous one in their relationship, and everyone knew that he was extremely scary when jealous. The gray-haired boy approached his boyfriend, hugged him from behind, and put his head on his shoulder without warning. Daichi startled and sighed when he saw his boyfriend. Shuga. Hello babe. Where were you? And why didn't you answer my texts? What about my hello kiss? Shuga pouted and the younger gave him a severe look, knowing what his boyfriend was doing. Still, he played along and kissed him. Here. Satisfied. Yes. After that, the girl who was talking with Daichi excused herself and left, saying someone was calling her. Let's go somewhere else. The couple went outside in the schoolyard to not be disturbed by others. So, can you now explain to me why you're so late? And what was that? I don't understand what you mean by that. Oh yes you do. Anyways, tell me why you are late at least. I really was worried. You didn't look like it. Huh. Wait, are you talking about this girl? Shuga didn't respond and sat on the bench next to them. Sugar. The taller kneeled in front of him. Do you know I supposed to be the one who's mad right now? And what? You're acting like a baby. Daichi sighed and quickly kissed him, for the second time today. You are my boyfriend and I love you. A random girl won't change that. There's nothing to be worried about. Okay, princess. The older looked into his eyes for a moment but just pointed the sit right next to him. Daichi then next to him as he asked. As soon as he sat, Shuga put his lover's head on his own shoulder, placing one of his hands on his tight. The next few minutes were the most silent ever. Still, it wasn't an awkward one but a comfortable one. Daichi was the one to break the silence. But, why didn't come this morning? Shuga started falsely coughing. He thought his boyfriend forgot. What are you talking about? Haha, you know damn well what I mean, Shuga. The shorter suddenly got up and slowly stepped backward. I need to go. See you later. And then ran away. Shuga, come back, I'm not done.